Okay, YouTube, in this video I'm going to take you through how to tie a Clouser minnow, one of the most versatile saltwater flies there actually ever was. What I like to do is I start off with a mustad size 2.0 hook. It's stainless steel, of course, and I tie on a dumbbell eye. This is the way you do that. Pretty straightforward. You have to leave some room in the front, and I'll show you why. You want to crisscross the material and you want to cinch this eye down pretty sturdily. You can't allow this to be loose at all. Saltwater flies need to be tied for durability. You can't. There's no way around that. Plenty of wraps on this. Okay. And something around the back. You want to put beads of thread behind and in front of, excuse me, that dumbbell eye. Okay. Once you do that, you can switch to some sort of rigged half hitch tool and just simply tie on a bunch of half hitches to secure this, and you don't really need to get any fancier than that. And what you can do at this point is apply some glue to this thread body here and let that dry. So I've set up some flies already, and we're going to pretend that we've put glue on here already and it's dried in. Okay, head cement is not sufficient. I would recommend using something like Steel Force super glue. Even better than that is this product here, Zap-A-Gap. I'm not endorsed by any of these guys, unfortunately, but those are really the products. Zap-A-Gap works really well. Or if you're really interested, and you can get some Sally Hansen's Hard as Nails. I don't know if this is going to show up, but it's just women's clear nail polish. Okay, this fly rides upside down in the water. What you're going to do now is tie on a piece of some white bucktail, and that's just clipping some here. And it should be pretty much a little bit longer than the shank, and you need to get out the shorts. So you want to clean this up a little bit. I'm assuming there's some level of basic fly tying here. And one thing that's very important is not to overdress the fly. Do not overdress the fly. It will not present right. When you go to a lot of fly shops, you see guys that have flies or trying to sell flies that are just way overdressed. Remember, it's for the fish, not you. Okay. If you look at bait fish in the water, they tend to be very skinny. They're not big and bloated like a lot of flies that you see. They just don't look like that. And this is basically the belly of the fly. So you want actually the top of this to be a little bit shorter than the bottom. Go behind. I put tight wraps here. And you want to make sure this is exactly over the middle of the hook. I'm hurrying here because of the time limits on YouTube. And come back in the front of this, cinch it down, and clip the extra material off. Okay, leave plenty of room for your next step. Okay, so there's your nice white underbody. Again, go back with your half hitch tool. I just used a hollowed out pen. That's all I had really for hooks this size, but it works just great. Just to tie off here a few loops. Remember, saltwater flies must be tied for durability. Once that's done, when tied off like that, you can now take your fly out of the vise, flip it around, and stick it back in the vise. It doesn't really matter how that hair is behaving at the moment. It will all be squared away by the end. All right. This is how the fly will actually ride in the water. And what you want to do now is get some pieces of Flashabou, and I would get a nice long bunch of this stuff. Here it is, and you can tie this in first, and you can divide it later. It doesn't really matter. We're trying to go as quick as possible here, and just a couple of tight loose wraps go around the back of the eye, the dumbbell eye, sort of make sure it's in the middle. That's certainly good enough, trust me on this one. Come back around the front, remove the excess material, no big deal. Okay, here we go. Now, I live in the Northeast. It's prime striper fishing. One color that works really good for striped bass is chartreuse. Olive and white works great as well. This particular fly is going to be chartreuse and white. Again, take your time to get rid of some of the shorts. There's just way too much material here, I can tell you that right now. But I'm going to thin this down just simply by pulling out pieces until it's fairly thin. Okay. You can also trim your fly later on, and you'll to get it to the appropriate body thickness. You tie on here, start with some loose wraps, grab your thread, grab your material, and pull it down. It's kind of hard to do with the camera sitting right between you and your fly. Tighten up those threads, come around the back of that eye, couple of tight wraps. Okay. Back around the front. Okay. Remove the excess material. What you want to do now, make sure your eye is not obstructed at all, because it'll be a nightmare to thread through anything, your fishing line or your leader. And for leaders, I basically, for a sinking fly like this, I want to use, we're going to wrap that head completely and nice and neatly. I want to use a nice tight or a nice stiff piece of 16-pound test monofilament, no more than 4 feet in length. You don't need any more than 4 feet in length. You don't need a tapered leader at all, because you're going to use a fast sinking line to fish these usually, and that's all you need. Okay, there's the head nicely wrapped, and you can go ahead now, tie this off as you wish. I prefer, again, to use a half-hitch tool on these big flies. Couple turns of a half-hitch tool, just cinch it down nice and tight. Generally about 6 turns is plenty, or half hitches is plenty. And now we can snip this off. We can take our fly out, and there's your Clouser minnow. What I would recommend doing is now cementing the head, and what I typically would use on that head is some Sally Hansen's Hard as Nails. You just go over the threads, let this dry. Okay. Now this is a very durable coating head and a head. What you can do then, if you want to increase your durability of this fly, is go ahead, and I won't do it now because that fly is wet, but you can go ahead and use this product here, Softex, and when this is dry you can take it out of the vise and coat from the hook eye all the way up to about here in Softex, multiple dips. Let it harden up. It's pretty quick, and you can just rotate it in your vise like so, and it'll dry on there, and it'll give you a very strong head, and that's it.